In 6 months, your role may not exist. A little bit extreme, right?
User experience is a series of thoughts that people get when they interact with something. Even in this AI era, the fundamentals of UX does not change. We can make AI as our collaborator. I would imagine myself in your situation.
In 6 months, your role may not exist. A little bit extreme, right? But that's what you've been hearing for the past couple of months during this agentic AI era. But today, we are going to ask that same old question from a UX engineer at Codimite. Waruna, how are you doing?
How are you doing great?
Okay, now the question. The first question. During this agentic AI era, what is UX?
Well, in general, user experience is a series of thoughts that people get when they interact with something. So when we relate that into our industry, user experience is what users would feel or think when they are interacting with a product or service. Even in this AI era, the fundamentals of UX does not change. However, what we should focus on is how we can improve this user experience in this new set of products. It could be a chatbot, it could be an AI agent, or even automating a workflow.
Okay, now as a full stack developer, I could easily develop an application from start to finish. In that scenario, why do we still need a UX engineer?
Nowadays, AI is very capable of generating stunning visuals or even user interfaces. But however, what we need to understand is without user context, without understanding their behavior, it doesn't matter how impressive the user screens or how impressive the designs that we create. We still need to understand what our people are thinking, what are their problems, and how we're going to overcome them. So in that case, I still believe UX designers have a role to play in this era.
Okay, now I have seen that there are so many plugins in Figma which is related to AI. So tell me, how do you as a UX engineer or a designer integrate AI into your day-to-day workflow?
Well, I have experimented with integrating Figma MCP to my workflow. Also, for the research tasks, I have used several AI agents and such as Claude or ChatGPT. So in that case, I would say rather making AI as the complete decision maker, we can make AI as our collaborator. So in that case, we know that AI could help us to speed or improve the efficiency in our workflow, but we keep control in decision making.
Okay, interesting. So let's talk a little bit about you now. So tell me, how did you get into UX?
Well, that's quite an interesting story. So during my childhood, I didn't actually had a dream job. I always thought I would be an engineer or a doctor, just like any kid would be. However, when I got into the university, I decided that I need to study this field of design rather than keeping it as an interest. So I was fortunate enough to explore this user experience field in that case. So I think that decisions make me where I am today.
Okay. So when you first came to Codimite, what were the learnings, the biggest learnings that you did?
Well, the biggest learning that I had was trying to sort of overcome your fears and trying to understand what you are dealing. In the first few months, it was quite challenging because I had to learn a broad domain within a short period of time. However, with the help of my team and also spending my time to self-study, I had the chance to overcome these challenges and grow myself.
And then what makes you fulfilled as a UX designer?
Well, I would say if there is a chance to express my creativity through the designs that I make, and also the ability to understand people regardless of their role or regardless of any other metrics, I think that could make me as a fulfilling UX designer.
Okay. One word that I hear UX designers use mostly is the word empathy. So explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay. So imagine this. You are someone who came to me to solve sort of a problem. Say, Waruna, I have this problem, but I have this kind of feelings when I interact with this one. So can you solve this problem for me? So in that case, what I would do is I would imagine myself in your situation. So when it comes to simple terms, I would say I would put my legs in your shoes and try to imagine what you would feel. So that's what empathy means. So in general terms, I would say it's what the understanding how people would feel in their point of view.
Okay, that was quite clear, Waruna. Thank you for that explanation. Okay, now let's move on to our quick fire segment. Okay, give me some direct, straightforward answers for this. The most overused UI trend right now.
AI-generated UIs without context.
Worst piece of design feedback you could possibly receive.
Feedback without clarity.
What's the UX practice which you have to adapt in real projects?
Balancing user goals with business needs.
And the final question. If you weren't a UX designer, what would you be today?
A DJ probably.
That's interesting. Anyway, Waruna, thank you for joining with us for this episode of Coffee Talk. And with that, we are going to wrap up this episode of Coffee Talk. See you in the next one.